Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? It's a little chilly last couple of days after having 2 days of back-to-back 31 and 32 hot humid days. So at 21 it feels like it's 11. But in saying that, hope everybody's in good spirits. Thank you for joining my show on my blog, The Reality of Things. I'm your host, Ultrastand Pheonix. And today we're going to be talking about life after death. Now, when people hear that, they get nervous. They don't like to talk about death because death is so finite. It's end. It's over, done. People remember you for a week or two, depending on what you did on this planet. And then people forget about you and life goes on and people think it's just it. There's nothing else. Black, dark, void, right? Nothing else. But I'm here to shed a different light on that. Master teacher used to say, life. It starts when a child's in the mother's womb. Now, the baby is living underneath the mother's sustenance through the umbilical cord. So the food and nutrition is come to the cord to feed the baby while it's in the mother's womb. After 9 months, the baby comes, depending on what type of mother it is, because it might come premature, it might have been a drug addict, alcoholic, or whatever it means. So I'm just going to say 9 months of a natural health birth. After 9 months, the doctor comes and cuts that umbilical cord. So now the baby is living its life on its own. Doesn't need no more sustenance from the umbilical cord from the mother to live its life because now it's going to have food from outside the umbilical cord. The child grows up to be a young baby, to an adolescent, to a young male or female, to a young adult, to an adult, to an old person, and then the person dies. At that point, the physical cord, or what people refer to as the soul or the spirit cord, gets cut from the physical body, and your physical body stays on the planet Earth and goes back to the Earth where it belongs. Like, you ever see that movie, Lion King, and Simba was asking Mufasa, well, why did they eat the antelope? Well, because Mufasa thinks we eat the antelope, and you know, the hyenas eat us, and it's what? It's what they said, the circle of life, right? So your physical cord and your soul cord is cut from your physical body, and your soul goes on. Okay? There is no death. Death is only a disease of the physical body that the elders made for the physical body to have a rest and the soul to go on. The soul is etheric. It's universal. It goes on. It doesn't die. That's only for certain people, not for everyone. I reiterate, it's only for certain people, not for everyone. So this soul power energy, this etheric soul body moves on, depending on what you did on this realm, higher or lower, okay? So death is nothing but a new form of life, just leaving the physical body. On this physical earth, life and death is represented through many things. You see, you might have a job that you love, and you really liked it, and you got fired from this job, or for some reason you had to leave it because the company was moving to Mexico or to China. All right? And you lost this job. To you, it's death. Now you have to figure out how to get a new job, by what means and what ends are you going to pay your bills. And you're going to start getting depressed if you don't have a strong thinking, mental, futuristic capability of knowing that everything's going to be all right. So most people go through a death, but then something miraculous happens. They get off their ass. They realize, no, I'm not going to sit down. This is not for everyone, though. This is for the go-getters, the thinkers that got their way out of it. You start to think, no, something good's going to come my way. It's not going to be like this. Because when you're up, you think you're never going to be down. And when you're down, you think you're never going to be up, right? So, damn, I'm going to get better. I'm going to find a job. So you go on Indeed or wherever you go on, take a look for a job. And what happens? A friend walks by and says, hey, I know a place that's looking for people. Would you like to work? You looking for work? I'll send you a resume. Bam, you get a job. You were in death one moment, figuring out how. See, the problem is, stop thinking about the how. Just figure about the means to the ends, and you'll find your way. People think about the how too much. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do it? It's just gonna come if you think logically, not in a straight path. Okay? Then you get the job. You're back to life. Your energy's good. Your vibrations and your frequencies are up. You're back from the dead. You could go out, hang out with your friends. You have money in your pocket. You could buy a couple of rounds. You feel me? You're back from the dead. See? Life after death. It's another example of life after death. When I was younger, I made a couple of mistakes. But I can laugh about it now because I was a thinker. And I told the officials when I was in prison, I'm doing my next broadcast. It's called Jail and Prison. They're two different things, right? I was in prison, not a jail where you go get a small little charge and you get bail the next day, you know? I'm talking about prison where you get 2 years and up. We call it hell. But I went to hell, and I told my psych reporter, the person that does your psych report, to check out your mindset. And I told him that at that time I was in the God state, you know, learning on the path of knowledge, and I was saying God that time. And I said, God put me here for a reason, and you'll never see me here again. I'm not like the rest of these guys. And I told him that, and he must have wrote something bad, you know, I'm egotistical and stuff like that. Which I am, because most great people have to have an ego. But anyways, I digress that argument. So I was in hell, you know, I did some things, and I went to the penitentiary, some gun charges and robberies and stuff, and I was in hell. I was in death. My family checked for me, but I was in hell. I wasn't living. I was doing what the jail told me to do. Sorry, the prison told me what to do. Went to wake up, go to work 3 times a day, because I had to work up there, right? I wasn't being lazy like the rest of these dumbass niggas, right? I was earning my keep for whatever the fuck that means. But I was living a friggin' Don life up there, right? And I had my family checking for me, so I was one of the lucky ones. But I was living in hell, death. When I came out, I got everything back, and I had life again. I felt everything. I felt my family. I felt my loved ones around me. I felt my friends. I felt my woman, right? I came back from the death, life after death, right? So there's many ways you could come back from life after death. In a relationship, I'm sure I went through that. You have to go through certain things in a relationship to mature and grow. If you don't, then you're not going to know how to respond when something happens to you. All of us at a certain age went through love and you thought you loved somebody, even at an adult age. People get divorced and people think that they're gonna die because that person I love that person. I put so much energy into that person and the house, the kids, or at a lower level, a boyfriend or girlfriend. How could they leave me? I hate them. You know what I'm saying? You want to get revenge or you want to show that you can get somebody better. You're in death. You're in turmoil. You know what I'm trying to say to you? You're trying to go on whatever site or whatever things you guys do these days, your younger generation, to find out what they're doing, right? And you get to find out that you're just in misery and you're in death and they hurt you so bad that, and this could be for he or she, right? Because I'm sure it happened to a lot of people, males and females. So like, it hurts, but then something happens. You get over that pain, that fear of losing that person. Yeah, the sun shines and it comes up the next day. And then you get back on that horse and you find out the Most High sent somebody who was for you, who was meant for you. And life comes again. This person brought a different perspective, a different energy to you. And you realize this person was for me. Life came to you. Life after death. It happened to me. Right? I found somebody who loves me and I came out of a situation, but I was already over the person. But now I've been with her 14 years and I found life. And hopefully I gave her life. Probably she might say I give her death sometimes, but you know, a relationship's not perfect, right? Sometimes you feel like you're in death, right? But life comes out of everything if you make it, right? So, thank you for listening to my blog on the reality of things. And today's blog was Life After Death. Keep your head up. Know that there's always going to be life. All right? So, have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. Don't get caught up in the fear mongering. And leave you guys with some more Young Thug.